Hi, I have put together a foam roller class, mat class for you all. Some of you have foam rollers lying around and maybe you release some tissues with it, but this will be kind of a combination, a little bit of release work as well as mat Pilates. If you don't have a foam roller, you could just do the mat without any prop, but the foam roller is kind of nice to challenge yourself and modify anything that you need to. Okay. So go ahead and just lay on your foam roller, tailbone at the far edge, head supported at the top edge, and just start to sway side to side. Just feeling any tension, any parts that feel a little tight, sore, and then start to minimize your sway so you feel the spine right down the center of the foam roller. Feet can be sits bones width apart or slightly wider for more balance. And then you can close your eyes if you like and just take an internal scan. Notice if one side of the body feels a little more tight than the other. Maybe one arm is closer to the floor than the other. Maybe one foot has more weight into it. And then just start to breathe. Let your belly rise on the inhale and exhale, let it fall. And just allow the bones to become heavy to the floor, the foam roller with each exhale that you release. Even allow the inner thighs to soften, your glutes, your hamstrings, the inner and outer corner of your eyes, your jaw. And then on the next inhale, take that lateral rib cage breath. So the belly doesn't rise, the ribs expand into the side and back body. And then activate your core to draw the waistline in, draw the belly in and up. And if you don't know the three-part breath here, just take the hands to the side of the ribs. You're going to expand into the side and the back of the ribs. And then there's an activation of the core drawing in and up as you exhale the air. Couple more, breathing in. Exhale out the mouth. Fog up your mirror. Last one, inhale. Last one, exhale. And then from here, explore where your pelvis is. So on the inhale, tilt your tailbone away from you, your low back arches, but keep the base of the ribs onto the foam roller. Exhale, waistline draws in and up. That scoops the tailbone under, low back imprints. So just keep moving from an extension of your spine on the inhale and a flexion of your lower spine on the exhale, leaving the ribs where they are. So it's just a pelvic movement. One more inhale, one more exhale, imprint, and then find neutral, which is in between that arched and flexed spine. Keep the head soft, feel the crown reach back, feel the shoulders melt down. We're going to do a little stabilization here. So on an inhale, you're going to keep the left foot pushing into the floor, left knee hugs in. On an exhale, you're going to float the right knee to tabletop. So pause here, notice, did your right hip hike up? Did you keep the pelvis nice and level? So as you inhale, the right foot lowers, exhale, it folds back in. So you're trying to stay as quiet as you can on the foam roller. Even though the left leg isn't moving, there's this downward energy of the left foot into the floor and a hugging of your left thigh in towards midline. One more here, inhale, lower. Belly breath, abs, pull that right thigh to tabletop and then lower the right foot down. We're going to go to the other side, stabilize right foot, inhale, and then the right knee hugs in as your left thigh folds, pause here. Again, hike the hip up and then level it out, hug the right thigh in, inhale, lower the left foot, exhale, draw it to tabletop. So again, there's that energy of the right foot pushing down into the earth and your right thigh hugging into midline. Two more. One more. Lower the left foot. We're going to go back to the right on an inhale, exhale, float it up, and then lower. We're going to alternate to the left. Stabilize right, exhale, left thigh folds. This is phase one. You could also bend the elbows, taking the palms away to make it a little more challenging. Otherwise, the next time your right foot folds into tabletop or your right leg, take the left thigh to touch it and see if you can hold there. The right hand can be extended along the floor, or again, the elbows can be bent. You're alternating, trying to stay stable. If this feels fairly easy for you, the next time your right leg folds into tabletop, ground through the left thigh and see if you can take both hands to the right knee. And then take both hands back to the floor. Stabilize right, float left. And maybe you just leave the hands hovering at the midsection as you alternate the legs, but taking the hands away from center back to the floor just makes it a little more challenging. One more right, exhale, inhale. Last one left. And then plant the hands, plant the feet. Take an inhale here. You're going to exhale, curl the tailbone under, and then press into your feet. Lift the hips up into a bridge, collarbones broad, shoulders down. Inhale, and then melt the heart, the lower spine, sacrum, tailbone releases last. So again, there's this hugging sensation of your inner thighs towards midline. Press through the feet, lift the hips. Nothing changes in the neck. Keep the neck long. Fingers reach toward your feet, and then exhale, lower down. One more to peel up into your bridge. Exhale, create the bridge, and it's more of a hover. Pause here. Now imagine a bowl of water on your pelvis. Just dip a little bit to the right. Thighs don't move, but the pelvis does. Then activate the right butt cheek to level the pelvis. Inhale, dip some water. Dip to the left, spill water to the left. Exhale, level it out. So the ribs stay where they are. This is a movement of your pelvis in relationship to the rib cage and your femur bones. Good. One more each side. You may notice one side doesn't glide as easily as the other. Just take note. Pause there. Now inhale, float your arms over your chest and overhead. Imagine me pulling your arms back as your knees pull in the opposite direction, and then lower your spine down one vertebra at a time. And then you drag your hands down by your waist. One more like that. Inhale, arms rise up as the hips rise, arms frame the ears, and then peel your spine down all the way down, and then the hands come down by your hips last. Pause here, take a full breath in. Let it all go. Staying neutral in the pelvis, long neck, long spine, float the arms over the chest. So just a little anatomy here. We're going to float the fingertips towards the ceiling. This is your shoulders creeping forward on your rib cage. That's shoulder protraction. Shoulder blades hug towards the foam roller, towards the spine. That's shoulder retraction. So see if you can feel the two movements here. Most of us stay in forward movement of protraction and can't find the retraction. And then notice if you can find the ease of the movement. Almost as if you have strings tied around your wrists, as if you're a puppet. And then settle the shoulders down. Hold here. Now the right arm floats overhead as the left arm reaches by your hip. Now, if your shoulder's up towards your ear, I want you to find that armpit to hip connection. I want you to find the front of the ribs stay down versus arching with the reach. Bring the arms back overhead or over chest on an inhale or exhale, and then inhale, left arm overhead, right arm down by the waist. Reset the shoulder. Exhale, hand bones over the chest. So you're just alternating. Ideally, you're not shifting on the foam roller. You're staying broad collarbones, neutral pelvis, breath in, breath out. Good, one more each. Opening up the side bodies. Exhale to center. One more, left arm overhead, heavy feet. Draw it back to center. Now set the shoulders slightly around the foam roller. Rib cage arms. Arms move in relationship to the rib cage. On an inhale. If you're up here, you're here in the ribs, pull the shoulders down, pull the ribs down, then bring the arm bones back over chest. So in the beginning, maybe you're only in your peripheral vision. That's okay. If you feel like you can go further, make sure you're honest with yourself that it's not your spine creating the reach of the arms, it's your arms creating the reach. One more, inhale. Now pause here for an exhale. From here, shrug up on the inhale. Shoulder elevation, shrug down on the exhale. Shoulder depression. So again, we've got different movements of the shoulder blades in relationship to your rib cage. One more. Hug the shoulders here. Take an inhale. Open those elbows wide into your W arms or fill-go post arms. Don't compromise your shoulders. So if the elbows to the floor and that's too much on the shoulder, bring the elbows higher. Keep them in your peripheral vision. And then we're going to do a little jumping jack motion where we inhale, arm bones overhead, shoulder blades melt down. Exhale, elbows drag wide towards your side, shoulders stay down, chest is nice and open. So can you create this movement with ease, with opening, with breath control? No change in the pelvis, whether it's in the pelvis alignment with the ribs or the rib alignment with the pelvis. Last one, pull those elbows down by your side, float the arms to the floor. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. From here, slide those fingertips towards your heels. Take an inhale. You're going to nod the chin, and you're going to root those ribs towards your pubic bone, upper ab curl. And then inhale, lower down. Remember, when we nod the chin, we don't collapse the chin on the chest, and we don't extend the head towards the ceiling. Lower down. Imagine an apple underneath your chin. You sustain the position of the chin here as you curl up. Pause here on the inhale. Exhale, float the arms up at hip height. Inhale, arm bones float up. Exhale, arm bones connect down. 2 more. If this is too much on your neck, you can lower the head. You could even take one hand behind the head if you like. Pause here. Inhale, lower back down. Now float those arms back over your chest. Take an inhale, arm bones frame your ears. Exhale, nod the chin as the hands come down by your hips, upper ab curl. Little bit more with the movement of the arms. And again, nod the chin, curl up. Inhale, lower down. This final one, you can leave the head down or have your ab curl here, hold, and then start pumping your arms. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Things to think about: heels pull towards your sits bones. Inner thighs squeeze towards the center line. Arms do not break at the wrist or the elbows, so your upper arms are tight. It's like you have these oars and you're just tapping the water. No break in the oar on the wrist or the elbow. Keep breathing. Full inhale and exhale. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. In, out, and in. 5 and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more set here. One more exhale. Pause. Take another inhale. Maybe you deepen your curl a little deeper. And then float the arms up. Arms overhead. Arms open wide. Hands down by your hips. Just roll your body off the foam roller for a moment. Lay on your back. Legs can be either straight out or knees bent. And just feel how your spine is now. Take a couple deep breaths. And then bend your knees in. Roll to one side and sit yourself up. When you come up to sitting, you're going to sit with your knees bent. Just keep the foam roller to the side right now. Heels are going to be underneath your sits bones in relationship, out in front of the knees. We're going to work into a little bit of half roll downs. So take your hands behind the hamstrings and then push your hands into the legs push into the hands. So you're kind of a push-pull where you feel your armpits connect. So can you scoop the tailbone under and keep your shoulders over your pelvis, versus most of us scoop and we will go ahead and bring our shoulders behind the pelvis. So just sitting up tall here, there's a lot of energy. Tailbone under, abs in, tall crown, and then inhale, release that. So just feel a little partial scoop. Inhale, release. This next time you're going to scoop down, half roll down, heels stay into the earth, inhale, and then exhale, dive nose to knees, waistline pulls back, sit up tall. So again, hands can stay behind your hamstrings to give you that support. Inhale, exhale, waistline pulls back, dive towards the knees. Option 2, arms over the knees as you curl down, armpits to hips. Heels pull back towards your sits bones and then dive nose towards knees. Sit it up tall. Exhale, roll down. You can always take the hands on the outside of the legs if you like. Roll forward. This last one, you're going to hold it down here. On an inhale, right arm floats up, shoulder stays down, exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale. If this is too much, the arm that's not moving, press that into the outer part of the leg. And even if it's not too much, that's a nice connection for you. One more to the right. Exhale. One more to the left. Exhale. Now reset. Grab behind your hamstrings. Feel your abs. Now hold here. Right palm up. Rotate right. Exhale, center. Hand to the right leg. Palm up on the left. Rotate. And your rotation this time comes from your ribs. Your pelvis stays level. Your gaze stays in the middle of your chest, maybe further back if your neck's okay. Last one, right. Exhale, center. Last one left. Exhale, center. Inhale, exhale, nod forward. Grab behind your legs. Open your heart space. Take 3 deep breaths. Let it go. 2. 1 more. Empty all that air. Now for full roll downs, your option here is to use the foam roller. Heels on top of the foam roller, digging your heels into the earth. Legs are going to be active. Sit up tall on your sits bones. Arms out in front. Take your inhale. Start that roll back. Feet press down. Exhale, roll all the way down. Hands will frame overhead without popping your ribs. Nod the chin. Inhale. Press into those legs to round forward. Stay rounded as you inhale. Heels reach energetically away from you and down as you roll your upper spine back. Inhale, nod the chin, press the heels into the foam roller and roll forward. 1 more like this, and then we're going to add a little bit more. All the way down. Inhale, nod. Exhale, curl all the way up. Start your inhale. You're going to exhale, curl down halfway, pause. Inhale here, press down with the left leg. Exhale, right leg floats. Inhale, lower right leg. Press down with the right leg. Exhale, left leg floats. Make sure the arms are pulled back into the sockets. Exhale, right. It's your abs lifting the leg. So the downward pressure of the leg that's not moving assists the ab work to lift that opposite leg. Last one left. Lower here, inhale, then continue to roll all the way down. Inhale, nod the chin. Exhale, roll all the way up. Pause here, take a forward fold. Maybe flex and point your ankles, circle them. And then staying around position, start to curl the tailbone under all the way down, 1 vertebra at a time. Head is going to be down. You're going to leave the left foot on the foam roller. Right knee hugs into the chest. So from here, maybe just circle it. Maybe just swivel it side to side. If there's any pinch in the front of the hip, maybe draw it more towards the armpit connection. And then pause there, grab behind the right hamstring, foot to the sky, straighten and bend. So you're lengthening the back of your hamstring. Make sure, again, you're not hiking the right hip. Draw the hip away from your rib cage. Pause here, flex and point your ankle. Shoulders are soft. 3 times and circle 3 times in one direction. Don't rush this. Feel the full tissue stretch in that fascia, and then reverse 3 the other direction. Now, from here, I want you to point the foot, maybe a little turn out of your upper thigh into external rotation. Left leg presses down into the foam roller. Right hands are at the side. Keep a neutral pelvis, and on an inhale, circle the right leg towards midline. Exhale, pull it around. So as you're circling, the left hip stays down, the ribs stay down, and your abs are working. It's as if that femur bone is sinking deeper into that socket. Pause at the top, reverse out to the right. Exhale across midline and pause. Inhale down, exhale around. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 1 more. And then pause there. Flex that ankle, reach that foot long towards the foam roller. Relax the right foot, hug the left knee in. And again, maybe sway side to side. A little bit of circular motion in the pelvis and hip area. And then grab behind the left leg, extend the lower leg up to the sky and bend 3 times. And again, check in with that left hip that it's not hiking up. 3rd one, leave the leg up, point and flex 3 times. And circle. Get the full range of the circle in one direction, and then switch in the opposite direction. And then pause there with your hands at your side, slight external rotation of that left leg. Right leg presses down. Inhale, circle midline, exhale up. Inhale, exhale up. And again, there's an activity of that right foot pressing down into the foam roller, the back of that right heel. Pause there and reverse. And up. And inhale to left, exhale up, pause at the top. 3, 2, 1 more. Pause there, flex that foot, reach that foot long. Left and right foot flex, arms reach overhead. Inhale, nod the chin, then exhale, roll all the way up. And then sit up nice and tall. Your options here for rolling like a ball is either come into a nice scoop position, heels together, toes apart, and then you're just gonna lean back a little bit. Elbows are wide, kind of that soft bend, armpits to hips. You can just hold it here and then float your feet off. You're in a tight ball here. Option one, if you want to play around with the foam roller, take the foam roller in front of your shins. So I'm not bending it, I'm pressing my palms into the ends of the foam roller. Again, rock back a little, heels and toes apart. From here, see if you can float. So there's this energy of the shins kind of pressing into the foam roller pulling back. And then you keep this shape, you tuck the tailbone, inhale back to the tips of the shoulder blades, exhale, come right back up. Inhale, armpits to hips. Exhale, come right back up. Inhale, down. Exhale, right back up. Inhale, roll it back. Heel squeeze, exhale up. One more, inhale. Exhale, roll up. Now pause here. Can you keep the feet up, or you can lower them down and then slowly roll down to your back. Hold on to the foam roller if you want this for abs series. Otherwise, hands can come to left hand inner right knee, right hand to right ankle if you know the traditional series. Otherwise, curl up, hold that foam roller, palms to hips. Draw one knee in, straighten the other for single knee stretch. So the foam roller's there just to keep you a little more challenged. One knee straightens, one knee bends. Palms press into the sides of the foam roller. And breathe. And breathe. For 3, 2, 1. Now bring both knees in. Send that foam roller over the shins. Stay in your curl. Reach arms and legs out. Exhale, pull it in. Inhale out. Exhale, pull it in. Armpits down, shoulders out of the ears, low back neutral or slightly imprinted. 2. 1 more. Pause here, legs up. Foam roller does not move. Hold that there. Left leg lowers, right leg 2 taps into the foam roller and switch. It's a pulse, pulse. The foam roller does not pump to the leg. The leg pulls into the foam roller. Deepen your curl. Pulse, 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 pulse. 2 more. 1 more. And then draw the knees in, lower the head down, bend the elbows, maybe sway knees side to side. For double leg lowers, you can always leave the head down. Hands can be at your side or propped under your sacrum, or interlace your hands behind your head as you curl up. Legs up towards the ceiling, slight turnout position, arms over the chest. Exhale, curl up, hold. Foam roller is going to stay right over the pelvis as the legs lower on an inhale. Exhale, inner thigh squeeze, lower abs, pull those legs back to top. Inhale. Stay in your curl if you're in your curl. Leave the head down if you like. Press those palms into the foam roller. 3, 2, 1 more lower, 1 more lift, bend the knees, stay here. Now rotate to the left. Right leg extends, left knee pulls in. Come back to center, rotate to the right. Crisscross, to the left, to the right, to the left, and right. For 3, 2, 1 more left, 1 more right. Come back to center here. Bring the legs to the floor, straighten them out, arms overhead. Inhale, nod the chin. You can take your foam roller with you as you roll forward. Fold forward for 3 breaths. 1 more. Slowly roll up. Now take this foam roller behind you horizontal. You're going to bend your knees and lay the ribs onto the foam roller. Cradle your hand behind your head, your hands behind your head, and then lift your hips up. And just steamroll the middle of the back down to the base of the ribs and up to the tops of the shoulder blades. So stay on the ribs to protect your tissues. And use your feet to to push into the floor. And then when the foam roller gets down to your ribs, I want you to rotate to the right. And I want you to steamroll there into that lat line all the way up to that outer border of your shoulder blade. Use your feet. Now the next time that foam roller is down below the shoulder blade, lower the hips, turn to your side, okay? That foam roller is going to be right at the armpit area. If you want more advanced, both hands can be stacked behind the head or interlaced behind the head. Otherwise, your top hand can be pressing into the floor. So I want you to move the foam roller, releasing right into that outer armpit area. Head can be supported with your hand. If your neck's okay, you could lower it down. And just feel that outer border. And then keep your knees stacked about 90 degrees or 45, depending on what feels better on your back. Opposite hand goes back behind the hand clasped. And then from here, you're going to rotate your chest towards the foam roller. And then you're going to open it up towards the sky. So I didn't mention a spot on your shoulder blade to find. It's all relevant to what your body's holding tissue tension. So maybe you don't really feel too much tension there. Just move up an inch or down an inch. And you're rotating from your center of your chest towards the floor and your center of your chest towards the ceiling. Your hips are going to stay stacked. Maybe this is something you want to breathe into for a breath or two before moving into the open position towards the ceiling. Just one more. Good, and then come back to your side. Use that top hand to push you back to your back. So you're going to come back to your back and steamroll again like you started. So I'm just going to switch around so you see this side. And then you're going to pause when you get those roller down to your ribs, curl up, and then rotate to your left. And I want you to roll from that lat line, basically shoulder blade down to the base of the rib cage in this rotation position. One more. Use your feet. And then pause. They're going to roll all the way to that left side. And again, you can use as much support as you need to. If you like a little bit more, you can stack both hands behind the head and push your lower legs into the floor. Or if that's too much, you can use your top hand on the floor, keep your hips down, and just roll in that armpit region. And don't forget to breathe. And then find a spot that feels a little sensitive. That bottom elbow sets down to the floor. Knees again flexed at a 45 or 90 degree angle at the hip. And then you're going to lead with the chest. Chest towards the roller. Chest towards the sky. And maybe you invite the exhale on the rotation towards the floor and an inhale on the rotation up to the sky. It's totally up to you. And play around. If that spot's already less sensitive, just dial that foam roller up or down an inch or so to find a new spot. Good. If your hands go numb, not necessarily a bad thing, just make sure your neck is supported, but you probably have a trigger point in this area where all the shoulder muscles are kind of tied in and sticky. One more. Good. And then you're going to carefully roll back to your back one more time, knees bent. Foam roller right at the base of the shoulder blades, and then steamroll once or twice just to get the center of it. And then when the shoulder blades are on the back edge of the foam roller or the foam roller is right below the tips of the shoulder blades, set your pelvis down, curl forward. Now give a slight scoop of your tailbone. Keep your low back neutral. Head heavy in the hands, armpits supporting you, and then just drape your chest over the foam roller. What I mean by this, most people dump their chest over the foam roller and their heads to the ceiling. So you want that analogy of an apple underneath your chin, and I want you to breathe into the side, that three-dimensional breath. Think about belly doesn't pooch on this one. Think about the rib cage expanding into the side and back body. Elbows are in your peripheral vision, and then nod your chin, curl up. You can now roll the hips towards your heels an inch. The roller goes up. Set the pelvis down, slight scoop or keep it neutral. And then again, you're just going to drift that chest over, draping it, not dumping it. And if that area is a little tense, maybe you hold it for 3 to 5 breaths, maybe a little longer. If your diaphragm is really tight from all the ab work you do in your exercise routine, let the belly rise and fall. That's an opening to your diaphragm. Neck is neutral, and then use your core, nod the chin, and then one more round, just maybe make that foam roller go a little bit higher towards the tops of the shoulder blades, neutral pelvis, arc back. 3 to 5 breaths. This might be one where you don't feel it as much in the mid-thoracic, but you want to take that diaphragmatic breath. One more breath. And then nod the chin. Go ahead and roll your hips. Take your hands, press yourself up, and then go ahead and sit up tall with your legs out in front of you. So the reason we did all that is for this next series of spinal movement. You can start with your foam roller right above the knees. Get all the flesh out of your sits bones, pull that away, and then sit up tall. Imagine a wall behind you. So the sits bones root down, your heels root down and out, shoulders are back. You're gonna first inhale, you nod your chin away from the wall, and then your mid back, and notice as I do that, I'm not pushing the foam roller, but my spine is moving the foam roller away from me. As I dive my head between my knees, and then inhale, you're gonna stack the low back over the pelvis, the mid back over the low back, shoulders, and then the head last. Feet are flexed and active. Inhale, nod. Make sure you go slowly, each little segment, because a lot of you will start the chin nod and then you hinge forward and not get that round flex position. And then to come back up, I inhale. My arms are energetically pressing down into the foam roller, so I'm getting a little more activation in my armpits and core. Inhale, nod, exhale. You could do thumbs up, pinkies press down into the foam roller on the forward fold, and then inhale, pinkies can press down into the foam roller on the roll up. If that's easier for you, 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Dive, dive, dive. Feet are active. Inhale, roll up. Last one, nod, inhale, exhale, empty it all out. Get all that stagnant air out of the body. And then inhale, bring all that prana back in. So just relax there. Hands gonna come to the side. You can leave the foam roller there. Take your arms to a T. Bend your elbows so your hands come on your shoulders. Leave your sits bones where they are in your ankles. Take an inhale. You're gonna twist to the right twice or 3, and then inhale to center. So you're gonna exhale, twist to the left. 3, 2, 1, center. So you're tall. There's no collapse here. So think crown up, sits bones down, feet do not move. So if you rotate right and your right leg shortens, you're moving from the pelvis. Move from your rib cage. And left. Now, stay with this, arms extend, and notice I'm same here with my arms into a T. I'm not bringing my arms around, right? You're still using them. If you don't get that, just keep your elbows bent. It keeps you more in alignment. Last one left. Good, come back to center here. Now, we're gonna rotate to the right. You're gonna take your left pinky to the right pinky foot and you're gonna saw it off for 3, 2, 1. Come up, back to center. Exhale, rotate to the left, right pinky to left foot. Saw it off for 3, 2, 1, and up. And rotate right. Reach, the back arm reaches as much as the front arm. And up, and rotate left. Saw it off for 3, 2, 1, and up, and rotate right. The back arm reaches. Sits bones neutral and stable. Last one here. 3, 2, 1. Come all the way up to center. Take the foam roller away. Draw the knees in. Spin your legs around and come onto your belly. Head's gonna be down. Arms are gonna be out in front of you. Pinky side of your palms on the foam roller. Head is down. Find a neutral pelvis. So lightly press the pubic bone into the floor or mat. Pick your belly up. Tops of your toes press lightly into the floor. Now, let's shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. So I'm going to turn my head so you guys hear me, but keep your face down. And then shrug your shoulders back down. So just like you did on your back, starting in class where we did a little bit of that elevation depression, here's what it is in a prone position. One more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, set the shoulder blades down. feel the pinky side of your arms energize into the foam roller. You're going to inhale, lift your eyes, lift your nose, and as you do that, the foam roller starts to move towards you. Heart space lifts, low back is neutral, pubic bone presses, then slowly lower down, first your chest, your throat, your chin, your nose, and then your eyes. And then if you like, you can shrug up to make sure you're not there, and then shrug down to set it, and then inhale. Shoulders down, eyes, nose, throat, sternum lift. Low back is not in this. This is your mid-back region in your baby swan, and then lower down. Reset the shoulder blades and inhale. And exhale. This last one, inhale, set the shoulders, come up, hold here. If you have no back issues, see if you can hover the right leg up, lower the right leg. See if you can lift the left leg or hover it and lower. So again, this is your hip extensors working, not your back extensors. If this is too much, just lower the forehead down or bring the arms onto the floor in the same position without the foam roller. Good. And if you're on the foam roller, that's great. If not, that's also great. And then from here, you have that opportunity to go into a little swimming, meaning left arm, right leg, lower, left arm, right arm, left leg. So again, just like you did with a few earlier exercises, the arm that's not lifting, push that down to the foam roller. That gets a little assist on the lift. And then you can start to go a little quicker. Sniffing inhales, sniffing exhales. If this is too much, just slow it back down. One more, inhale, 5, and exhale, pause there. Bring the hands to the roller, draw it towards you, come up to all fours, knees apart, toes together, child's pose. Breathe into that back space. 2 more breaths. Let it go. 1 more. And then use your core, slowly draw your spine all the way up. Turn to one hip, swivel your feet out in front of you. The opportunity here is to do more challenging bridge work or place your feet by placing your feet on the foam roller, or keep your feet on the floor and lower your spine down 1 vertebra at a time. Arches of your feet on the foam roller, sits bones width apart, hands down by your side. Roll the shoulders up, back, down, and around. Take an inhale. You're going to exhale, scoot the tailbone under, find your core first. Then you invite the hamstrings and glutes. If you go right into hamstrings and glutes, you will get a muscle cramp perhaps, and then slowly lower back down. So when I release, I exhale, that curls me under, my abs scoop in and up, and then I start scooping up more from my abs, and then I invite my glutes and hamstrings to assist. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower down. If this is too much on your hamstrings, feel free to keep the feet on the floor versus the foam roller. Exhale, curl up. And then from here, you're going to pause, stand into the left foot, float the right knee to tabletop, and then lower down. Stand into the right foot, exhale, left leg into tabletop. And then just be mindful, yes, you will feel this in your hamstrings, but are you using, again, your abs to assist the lift and your glutes versus just your hamstrings? So in order to lift one foot off, you have to push down again, maybe feel more energy in the heel part of your foot on the left leg to lift the right, and then feel more energy on the right heel of the foot to lift the left leg as you stabilize the right. 1 more each, and lower. Last one, lift left, and lower. If you want one more little version, you just take the legs out 1 inch or 2, exhale, pull them back in. Pelvis stays level, shoulders don't creep up. 3, knees are parallel. 2, hamstrings are working. 1 more. Pull it in, inhale, exhale, lower down, 1 vertebra at a time. Grab behind your hamstrings, flex and point. And again, if that's not, that's just something to work up to if that doesn't work for you today. Okay, now roll to your side to sit up, or if it feels okay on your spine, rock and roll up to seated. You're gonna place that foam roller now. You're gonna sit on top of it. So, Hands can reach behind you. You can just take a traditional hamstring stretch if you like, or you can roll those hamstrings out. So I kind of think about my legs in the lower part are just dragging. So I'm spreading tissue. I rotate my legs away from each other to get my outer hamstring. I rotate my knees towards one another to get my inner hamstring. You could take one leg at a time and do this. And again, you could pause this video and spend more time doing some release work. This is just a brief little break for you guys. Good, and then take that foam roller, calves on, the upper third, and just maybe roll side to side, feel some flesh spread. I call them speed bumps in there. You could do that, middle third. One side may have more than the other. And then the lower third, closer to your Achilles area, but above the heel. And you could do, if you want more core work with this, shoulders down, spreading the calves as you roll the thighs apart. That gets your outer calf. And then as you roll your calves inward, the legs inward, that gets your inner calf. You could also do one at a time. Again, that's just options for you. Okay, now you're gonna sit on the foam roller. Hands reach back, cross the right ankle over the left, and then roll to that right glute. Just a quick, this is a kind of version of a figure 4 stretch while you're getting some fascial release. Breathe, shoulders aren't up towards the ears, use your core. Again, you could always pause the video and enjoy some of these releases for your own pleasure. If you just want to do that, do the other side if you haven't already. Okay, now release there. Send your hips off the back of the foam roller and slowly lower down. Lift the hips up, place it at your waistband, above, kind of above your sacrum, but at your lumbar region. Draw your knees into tabletop, and then press the foam roller down a little bit so you're in your upper butt cheek area where the pocket is. Take both knees over to the right, back to center, over to the left. My hands are on the edges of the foam roller just to keep it from rolling away. If the foam roller is pushing away from you, that means it's too low. And if you feel it's in your lower back area, it's too high. Now roll both knees over to the right, keep the thighs together, and just give a little circle. And you might have to figure out what spot feels good for this. The opposite hip does lift, and then reverse your circles. It's your abs, your inner thighs supporting all this. Feet are soft, relax. And then go back to the center and then rotate to the left. Find an area that feels like it could use some attention. And then reverse the other direction. Breathe. And then coming back to center, you're going to push that foam roller up a little bit or set the feet down to do that. And then draw both knees in towards your chest. Hug the right knee in towards your armpit, or let's do left leg so you can see me. Take the right foot to the sky, keep a slight tuck of your tailbone, and you're gonna open up the front of your right thigh. So there's a pull of that left thigh into your left armpit as the right leg reaches over the foam roller. If this hurts your back, again, scoop the tailbone under, keep your back flat. Or you could use a yoga block and put your pelvis on that. Or you could go and do just a lunge stretch for your quad. This is just to get into the quad, the hip flexor. Some of you might want psoas a little more. You can take your right arm overhead as that right leg's reaching out. But again, you're not arching your back. If you stayed here for a minute or two, that foot probably would touch the floor. But we're just opening it up for side hip series here in a second. That right arm's overhead, bring it back to the left shin. Use your core, draw that right knee in. Pause there, hug the right knee to armpit, left leg towards the ceiling, low back slightly scooped, and then lengthen that left leg over. And for me, my left side's a little tighter today. Again, just noticing, breathing. If you want a little bit more in the psoas, sometimes people can get a stretch with that left arm overhead as the left foot reaches towards the far wall. Let it breathe. Let the legs soften. 2 breaths. One more. And then bring that left hand back to the right shin. Use your core, draw the left knee in, hug the knees in. And then if your back's okay, you can either let the knees come into the chest and roll the roller out like this, If that's not a good transition for you, put one foot on the floor, then the other, lift the hips, and then roll it all the way down. Carefully either roll to your side or rock and roll up to a seated position, and then you're going to lay on your side. Let's start laying on the right side if you like. Legs straight out. Arm can be framed by your bicep, or bicep can frame your ear, or you can prop yourself up if you like. And then if you're on a mat, you want to bring your legs to about that front corner of the mat. If you're not on a mat, think about maybe 45 degrees forward, 30 degrees. And then from here, use your core, and you're going to lift that top leg up. So the leg lifts parallel to the floor. So again, check in with your waist. Did this wrinkle? Let it lengthen. Flex the left foot, and you're going to take the left foot forward, inhale, point it, reach it back, exhale. So it's a move forward, inhale, point, reach back, exhale. And that extension of the leg going back, again, we open up that quad so you get more into the front of the quad opening versus your back getting jammed and extending. You could add that little kick if you like, if you know that. One more. Now leave it back. When you leave it back, I'll try to let you see, I want the leg to be back, toe down, heel up. And I want you to lift and lower with this leg in internal rotation. The bottom knee can always be bent if you need more stability. Good. Tiny little lift, tiny little lower. This is your upper little pocket area. Good. 2. Breathe. 1. Now parallel that foot, bring it forward, stack it on top of the bottom, heel in, toe out. Bottom leg can be down, bottom knee can be bent, or you can prop that heel up on the bottom leg, and you're going to kick it up and point it down. And up and point. And then again, check in. Did you hike your hip? Try to keep it nice and stable. 2. Last 1. Pause there, little circles. It's small. Again, we're wrinkling only our pant fabric, not our waistline to shirt fabric. 2, 1, reverse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that foot turned out, lift it up, plant it in front of you. So you're going to get a nice stretch in that leg you just worked. So push that left foot into the floor as the left knee opens, and then you can point that bottom leg to lift up and down. You can think about the press of your left foot helps lift the right inner thigh. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Hold the lift, little circles. Breathe. 3. Keep pushing into that left foot. And then reverse. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, straighten both legs, bend both knees in. Rest the head down, open up that left shoulder back, and breathe. 1 more. Bring that left hand back, press yourself up, and we're going to switch to the other side. So when you come to the other side, lay long. You can imagine if you have a mat, the whole body starts parallel, and then the feet can come to that front edge of the mat. Okay, from here, you're going to lift that top leg. Imagine waistline out of the hips. Flex the foot forward, point the foot back. So we flex forward and point. Keeping a mindfulness that your pelvis stays neutral, so when the leg goes forward, you don't round the back, and when the leg goes back, you don't arc the back. And you can add those little pulses. 2 more. Good. Last one, hold the reach back, toe down, heel up, and then you're going to do a tiny little lift. And again, it's that upper pocket region, abs are in, ribs are in. If you want a little more advanced cueing, that underside is lifted, so there should be some space. You should see light underneath that. 3, 2, 1. Pause there, parallel that foot, slide it in line with the bottom, and then go heels in, toes out. If that's too much for you, you can stay parallel. Flex the foot, point down, and flex and point. Hip is level, not hiking up. 3, breathe. 2, last 1. Pause there, little circles. And again, it's your upper thigh bone, not the lower leg dictating this. 3, 2, 1, reverse. And breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the turn out, lift the leg, plant the foot in front of the bottom leg. Stand into that. Pause there for a moment. Feel that right knee towards the ceiling. And you're going to use that right foot to lift the left. And it's the left inner thigh lifting. Okay. 3 more. 2. 1 more. Hold the lift. Tiny circle. And each time that inseam of your left leg lifts, you're trying to get it right back to that height that you were lifting from. Last one, and then reverse. 6, 5, 4. Where's your abs? Where's your breath? Last one. Go ahead and bend the knees in. Open up that top arm and rotate back for 3 breaths. 2. 1 more. Carefully roll back to your left side. Prop yourselves up. Spin your feet around. So for teaser, just a very short version of this. Sit up nice and tall. And then again, you can rock back, hands behind your legs, and just see if you can float. That's great. If that's all you can do, if that's too hard, just do one leg. Maybe do the other leg, and then you try. And then for those of you that want more, hands can be out. Those of you that want more, legs can be up. Wherever you're at, just take 3 deep breaths. Feel the shakes. 2. 1 more. Bend the knees. Send your arches towards one another. Open the thighs out for butterfly. Sit up tall and then round forward. Start with a little bit of a hinge first before you get into that round forward breath. 2 more. 1 more. And then slowly roll up. Take the hands to the outer thighs. Draw those knees together. Straighten them out. Maybe shake them out. Last little thing here. Coming to all fours. So you have the opportunity here to first release some of that anterior tibialis, the muscle on the front of your shin. So if you keep your hips back towards your heels and just roll, it feels nice. This is an area that's hard to stretch. And just move. And then to make it a little more core dominant, you're going to come shoulders over the wrist into an all fours position. And then you're going to make it active so the abs pull the knees in and the abs stabilize to press the legs out. The lower you start with the foam roller at your ankle bones, you're going to be able to get out further into your plank when you press it out. Good, breathe. 2. 1 more. Now press it out, hold here, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring one knee in, bring the other knee in. If you like a child's pose, you can feel free to do that. Or maybe you come up all the way, roll the wrists out. You could take a cat-cow if you like. Hands and knees. Get some movement back into your waistline, ribs, shoulders, neck. Good. And then let's finish with a little mermaid. So I've got my foam roller to the right of my hip. My right shin's gonna be parallel, my left shin's back. And then the hand's gonna come to find the center of the foam roller, maybe slightly forward on the right. Left arm to a T. There's a lot of control you have to find here. So you're gonna take your inhale, your side bend to the right, so that arm's just kind of gliding you out. And then you can come right back up. And exhale over. And inhale back up. Last one, you're gonna hold here for a breath or two. Feel there's a lot of energy in that left hip, even though it's probably lifted, that's okay. Take another inhale. And then slowly turn your ribs towards the floor. Left hand comes to the foam roller. Right arm slides a little wider. And you can downward dive with your exhale. You can almost feel like the right hand pushes the foam roller away as your left hand pulls back into the foam roller to wring your ribs out. Another opportunity here is lift your eyes, nose, throat, sternum. And then you exhale, dive. So a lot of you have done this in reformer class. The left shin is energized. I kind of think about it pushing away from me and my left foot is flexed. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Stay here for a breath in, breath out. And then slide that right hand back to the middle. Stabilize to open up to the left. Sit up tall. And you can take that counter stretch here. 3 breaths. If you like, you could even round and fold towards that bent back leg. Come back to center, sit up tall.